In terms of actually the winning moment of winning MSI, though, I did want to ask about that too, because look, like, technically, I know people are going to say, but Fnatic did that in season 1. Like, look, I won't go into the whole debate about that. All I'll say is this: I doubt it felt as good for Fnatic because it was just DreamHack. So the question I would ask you is this: you're the only Westerner that knows this. What's it like to win one of those massive international tournaments in the era when there are all these, like the joke now is, even the few years later, it feels like, did that really happen? Like, that'll never happen again. It just feels like no one will ever win. No one will ever win Worlds from the West. No one will ever win MSI. It feels like that. So, what was it actually like to be in that moment? Was it surreal?
I mean, it was kind of surreal, yeah, because that was like that was just like the start of our success, right? Like kind of. And people say, you know, we peaked there, but I don't think we peaked there. I think we were just as good throughout the whole 2 years. We just had more like teams that challenged us as well, like later on. So I don't know. It was a surreal feeling because I guess you are. It's like one of those animes where like as from a young age, you know, you are taught that the Asians you're overlords and you're supposed to pay your taxes to them and you're supposed to lose to them and just give them the trophies. So this is kind of how you're raised as a Western League of Legends player. So I think by doing that, not have you only taken the stigma away from us, we have only also taken it from everybody else around the world. Like you make it kind of seem believable. Oh, if they can do it and they can like troll pick and do it, you know, then surely anybody else can do it too, right? Now I don't think there's been a actually Western team that's won a BO5 against Asian team since that G2, which is kind of sad actually to think about it like that. That's actually really depressing, honestly. We gotta make that right this year. But yeah, I think that's basically it. It's like the whole kind of like the whole thing around it was like different because yeah, it's true. It was surreal. Yeah, it was a bit surreal. But like now having done it and having beaten multiple Asian teams, like actually honestly more surreal was beating RNG. I will say that was like way more surreal. Like this was like I kind of already knew we were really good, but I just didn't know how good we were, right? So beating RNG was like super surreal. But I think that it's not that hard. Like I think like saying that because I mean we lost 3-0 last time in Cloud9, right? But I think it's like Asian teams, they have weaknesses like every other team. You think because they are an Asian team because you don't know them really well, you don't have info on them, that you think they're just so insane. But like in reality, every team in the world has their identity. Every team in the world has like a few champs they're really good at, not actually all of them. You know, you don't have to play like every champ in the game to be really good at them. You just look at the world champions, you know, like Doinby won Worlds playing Nautilus mid. Like think about it, he won Worlds playing Nautilus mid, you know? Like how crazy is that, right? So you don't have to be the best in the world at everything. You just have to be the best at one thing your team does. And that's like if you actually teach that your team, I think then you can have a lot of success, right? But the problem is people think, oh, every team has to play carry top, every team has to be able to play this, every team has to play Lucian Nami, and okay, it's unlucky if Lucian Nami is meta for 3 years in a row, then just FF, you know, if enemy is better Lucian Nami, it sucks, you know, just ban it, you know, just try to play without it. Sometimes it is about the meta, sometimes enemies are just better in the meta, and I will say I think the Asian teams are in general better in the Chanter meta than the Western teams. I think it's kind of hard to beat an Asian team when it's a Chanter meta. That is, I will say it. I don't know why it is exactly. I don't want to go too into detail. I think it's something connected with discipline and the way the culture is, because the games are much more stable and slower and blah blah. But I don't want to go into detail. So yeah, I think you just have to believe you can do it. And I think a lot of European teams, by the time they get the roles, they're like done. You know, they have.
Yes.
I know for a fact that these roles, by the time they got the roles, like I think all the Western teams were already done. They already like I think they already were all looking for the next year. Like that's the problem, right? That's the problem.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or you know, be a pleb and don't.